Welcome back, everybody, to more Root Double. Here we are with Sulu. We found her, but she doesn't want to come along with us.
どうして？
真白がエナは心を開いていないと言っていた。
What does that even mean?
真白の判断を信じる。
鳥羽さんと一緒にいるの？あの子はどこに？
今はいない。
どういうこと？
Sulu didn't answer. Ina soon started to grow impatient.
心を開いていないことについては認めるわ。そうしなければならない事情があるのよ。でも私はあなたたちの味方よ。
Sulu paused for what felt like forever, then spoke as if she'd made up her mind.
エナ、夏彦に免じて一つだけ忠告してあげる。あの隊長という男には気をつけて。あの男は危険。
え？
Just then.
おい、それはどういう意味だ?
Don't know if we should have did that, but... Sulu turned herself aside and started running off at that exact same moment.
待ちなさい、三宮さん。
Ina immediately gave chase. But Sulu pushed her away a second later. Utasi caught Ina before she hit the ground. Sulu took that opportunity to run into the connecting passageway that led to the outer ring and disappeared behind the security gate. Utasi quickly picked up the pursuit, but then the security gate shut before his eyes. Frustrated, Ina punched the closed gate. Utasi quickly took out his card and opened the gate again. But Sulu was already long gone by then. Utasi and Ina ran into B2 of Area 2's outer ring in pursuit of Sulu, but she wasn't anywhere to be seen.
あの子、どこへ？
探そう。どこか近くの部屋に隠れている可能性が高い。
ええ。
Utasi and Ina nodded at each other, then searched the nearby rooms. Utasi couldn't help but voice his thoughts as he kept on opening random doors.
しかし、あの子、俺が危険ってどういうことなんだ?
そんなこと言ってたわね。隊長さん、さっきの話に心当たりは？
残念ながらない。
そう。でも、三宮さんと隊長さんの間に何かがあったのは確かなはずよ。おそらく。
Yeah, that seems
隊長
likely.
さんが記憶喪失になる前に。
あ、俺も同じことを考えていた。だが俺はレスキュー隊員なんだぞ。それなのに彼女に何をしたって言うんだ?
私に聞かれてもわかるわけないでしょ。もしかすると三宮さんが何か誤解をしているのかもしれないけど。
Utasi then remembered the wound on Sulu's arm as she said that. I wasn't the one who gave her that wound, was I? But he couldn't think of any reason why he'd ever do that. We wouldn't hurt a fly. The pair finished their search of the floor as Utasi pondered that. Sulu was still completely nowhere to be found.
他のエリアに逃げたのかしら。
先生、彼女を追いかけよう。彼女を見つけられれば直接いろいろ話も聞ける。
待って、その前に。隊長さんはどうして単独行動をしているの？危険だから極力避けようって話だったわよね。
ああ、それは立花が。
Utasi then explained to Ina how Kazami had gotten hurt. While they were at it, Utasi and Ina synchronized their PDE's map data to share their search results.
そう。そっちではそんなことがあったのね。
そっちではってことは。
Someone get hurt too?
こっちも森部さんが第6エリアの捜索中、
Oh
高
no.
所から落下して負傷したわ。
なんだって？それで森部は大丈夫なのか?
安心して。今は第6エリアの一室で休んでいるけど、すぐに復帰できると思うわ。
そうか。
Utasi breathed a sigh of relief, but Ina frowned.
でもねえ隊長さん、こんなことが連続するなんて、やっぱりこのラボで何かが起こっていると思わない？
確かに。
Both Kazami and June had been wounded in the same hour. It stunk too much to be a coincidence. Feels like there's an invisible enemy that's attacking us. But aimlessly fanning the flames of his anxiety won't help a thing. He decided to focus on the pressing issue at hand first.
でもそれより先生、まずはサリを追おう。まだ近くにいるかもしれない。
ええ。
Ina nodded nervously, then broke off into a run with Otase. Otase and Ina were currently in Area 2's outer ring. Taking into account the state of things, so had to run to either Area 1 or in the direction of Area 3. But they didn't know which way that she'd gone.
仕方ないわ。ここは二手に分かれましょう。
ダメだ。ここまでいろんなことが起きてる以上、もう単独行動を取るのは危険だ。
じゃあどうすれば。
Just as Ina said that, Shimotase heard a sound coming from far off.
今の音は。
あっちだ。行こう先生。
Otase and Ina ran towards the source of the sound, Area 1. On their way, they heard yet another noise.
間違いない。今度は連絡通路からだ。
The two of them followed the sound as quickly as they could. They ran through the connecting passageway and entered Area 1.
隊長さん、これ。
Blood. Only to see red blood stains scattered here and there. It's fresh. Is this Salu's blood? Is this Krista's blood? The blood trail continued all the way to the stairwell.
追いましょう、隊長さん。
あ、
Otase and Ina ran over to the stairwell. The emergency staircase was collapsed as it had been earlier, leaving only a room full of debris. But Salu wasn't there. I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong. Sorry about that. And at the end of the scattered blood trail was a vinyl bag full of a red liquid. The bag's label read AB.
これは
Blood
輸
transfusion?
血用血液パック。
どうしてこんなものが。
Otase and Ina stood there in confusion. Only for the fire door behind them to shut a second later. Taken aback with surprise, Otase tried to open the door, but he couldn't. It only budged a few millimeters, like something was propped against it.
くそ、閉じ込められた。
何これ。何かの罠。
罠だって。
Trap? Otase looked around for an exit as he tried to recover from the shock. He quickly spotted something that caught his eye immediately.
あれは
Something was lying in the corner of the stairwell, a fire extinguisher.
消火器。
隊長さん、消火器がどうかしたの。
いや、
Otase suddenly realized something. Was the object that caught fire and exploded in that stairwell earlier the fire extinguisher?
ちょっと待ってくれ先生。
Otase gently walked over to the extinguisher. He picked it up and examined it.
何をやってるの。
わからん。が、何か嫌な予感がする。
He turned it upside down and checked it out, only to find what appeared to be soldering marks on the bottom. Otase picked up a piece of debris. He pushed it against the soldering marks and tried opening up the extinguisher. He succeeded in removing the bottom of the extinguisher and found something strange inside. Oh my god. The cord stuck out of what appeared to be a digital clock, wrapped around several cylindrical objects. He could tell from a glance that this was a time bomb.
何これ。
消火器の中に爆弾が仕込まれてたのか。
Just as Watashi finished voicing his shock. Oh my god. Numbers appeared on the digital display. A strange beeping sound began echoing through the stairwell.
数字が減ってる。
まずい。起動したらしい。
Watashi knew for sure that the constant beeps come from the timer were a countdown to their deaths. Was this what the one who was trapped us in here was after?
隊長さん、なんとか解体できないの。
解体？無茶言わないでくれ。俺にそんなスキルはない。それより早くここから逃げるんだ。
でも逃げるって言ったって。
The staircase had crumbled and the fire door was shut. It was just as Ina said, there was no way out. The bomb's timer was ticking down by the second. And then... the time between the beeps gradually grew shorter and shorter as if to fuel Watashi and Ina's fear.
そう。
Watashi's buddy slammed the door out of desperation.
開きやがれこの野郎。
But it didn't budge an inch. Is this it? Is this where it ends? But just as Watashi was about to give up,
隊長さん、どいて。
Ina shouted that and took something out from under her clothes. The object shining with a black luster was none other than a pistol. Look at that. What does she have a gun for? Ina pulled the trigger as that wave of sheer disbelief hit Watasi. The bullet successfully destroyed the door's hinges. No, Watasi was still confused. He kicked the fire door with all his might. The door collapsed into the hallway, allowing the light on the other side to shine in. Let's see, what do I do here? Okay, everyone's good. Watasi and Ina rushed into the hallway without a moment's delay. They fled down the hallway as fast as they could, pursued by the sound of beeping from the room they'd escaped. It's gonna blow! Watasi dove toward Ina. That realization hit him. Watasi threw himself into the hallway in order to shield her with his body, and then the beeping finally stopped. Over 10 seconds had passed since the beeping had stopped, but the only sound that filled the block was Watasi and Ina's panting. Was it a fake? The two of them got off the floor and timidly took a peek into the stairwell. However, no explosion had happened.
爆発しない?
わからないが、どうやら助かったみたいだな。不発弾だったのか。
そうかもしれない。けど、今まで起きたことと何かが違っていた気がする。
True, there have been several bizarre factors so far, like the sprinkler system being offline, or the passageway blocked by the electric cable and puddle, or the cargo lift being broken. But unlike all of those, there had been a clear malice behind this incident. But that was a bit of a sloppy job, wasn't it? Watasi looked at the kicked-down fire door. There was something that appeared to be a metal bar lying next to it. That must have been what had been holding back the door. It felt very improvised on the spot for a trap. And on top of that, the bomb in question hadn't detonated. If the one who'd set the whole thing up had been trying to kill Watasi and Ina, then they'd failed completely. Was there some reason they didn't spend much time on prepping it? Watasi's thoughts were suddenly interrupted by the sound of footsteps approaching. He turned around to find June running toward him.
隊長、それに椿山さんも。
なんだ、森部か。
なんだとは何さ。なんかバターンってすごい音が聞こえたから病み上がりに駆けつけてきたのに。
I'm sorry. Another set of footsteps closed in as June said that. They looked up to see Yukida running their way.
ああ、皆さんお揃いか。妙な音が聞こえたが、何があったのかね。
June and Yukida had both said more or less the exact same thing. Come to think of it. Watasi looked at Ina's hands in surprise. Yukida and June did the same, then gasped.
椿山さん。
拳銃？それどうしたの？
これはその。
Ina's body froze and took a step back.
さっきその銃、懐から出したよな。あ、どういうことだね。どうして君がそんなものを持っているのかね。
Why does she have a gun with us? Well, we're gonna find out next time on more Rude Double. Take it easy, everybody.